Let's look at how easy it is to create models of building energy use, statistical models based on the actual use of the building using ECAM. All we have to do is get the data into a template and then let ECAM do the work. You can process multiple buildings at a time. Each of them has to have their data in its own template. The template consists of a timestamp in the independent variable, primary independent variable, which is usually outside air temperature. Another timestamp in the energy use, which is these timestamps do not need to be the same intervals or need to be the same. ECAM will resample the data to get them on a common interval for modeling. Another column that's most important here is the date ranges for our project, the date our baseline starts and ends, and the dates of our reporting period for which we want to get the energy savings. All of these cells have notes to tell you what you need to do with the various cells. Another important field, if you want to get normalized savings, that is savings under typical weather conditions, your typical weather will be entered in column Q. I'm going to be modeling on a daily basis for speed here in this demonstration. Consequently, I need to have 365 days representing a full year of typical weather. If I was to model hourly, then I would use 8,760 hours of typical weather, the number of hours in a year. So now we've taken a look at a template. Let's see how easy this is to do. All we need to do is, using the ECAM menu, go to the Automated M&V Modeling item under M&V Utilities, click it. It will bring up a place where we can pick the file we want to process, and we can process multiple files at a time, as I mentioned. I'm just going to process one here. Click the file I wish to process. That's the template we just looked at. Click OK, and ECAM will immediately start to process. It'll resample the data, and then it will create the building energy use models, and we'll look at them very shortly here. Give it a moment. It's identifying days of the week that are similar, and it's looking at how the energy is related to temperature for each of those days, creating those statistical models, combining them into an overall model, doing that for both our baseline period and our performance period, converting each of those models to typical weather, and looking at what savings would be under a typical year. Okay, that is done. Let's go look at our output. Here's our output file that we just completed. And here's our output with our baseline dates and our reporting dates. Bunch of information about the model, our avoided energy use and the performance here, our savings under typical weather conditions here, some estimations of uncertainty, and some other information about the model. Let's go look at the model in a little bit more detail. Going over here to the left, you can look at our individual models. For the ECAM's determined that weekdays are all similar: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and holidays are similar to that as well. Saturdays and Sundays are a little bit different, so they have a little bit different relationship to weather. So we have individual models shown for each of those. We can combine those in an overall model, look at our overall model fit in terms of a couple metrics, model fit chart, our history of use showing how the model compares with the baseline energy use, tracking of the model residuals to see if energy use is changing over time, and a couple other charts to show how well the model is doing. Get our estimate of savings for the performance year. Here are savings in both avoided energy use and in a percent. We have our post-period model, which is similar but at lower levels. And then we can convert that to an overall avoided energy use or normalized savings under typical weather conditions. Here we've got our normalized savings under the typical weather, again in both absolute values and in a percent. So very fast, very easy to get savings on a daily basis. Annual models, or excuse me, hourly models take quite a bit longer. anywhere from 90 seconds to 7 minutes, typically, averaging about 4 minutes on my laptop. So that's it. That's how we do energy savings using ECAM. Thank you very much.